Welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? It is I, Goki. Today we're going to be taking a look at two specific weapons. I believe they're coming in 1.1. Not sure. They've been data mined. They're here on the wiki. They're exposed. People know what they do. We don't know one set of essential materials. We know the other one. And it's going to have you big brain team comps. It really is. Your team comps won't be as versatile. This is a minus on this weapon, but the cool thing about it is that you can big brain really good team comps with this weapon. Honestly, you really could. You can make it really excel, and it arguably be as serviceable as a really good 5-star. And the reason why I say that is because it adds percentages for each type of character on your team. And for those who already know what this weapon is, listening to me, you already either one clicked off the video, or you're just like, ho 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 ho. So let's get right into it. So here we got the characters around, but we're gonna start with the weapon first. We're gonna go with the weapon that we're talking about, probably the harder to build of the two, the Lijiang Blade. Now, looks pretty cool. It's kind of like the Rain Slasher, but a Geo looking version of it. But it doesn't build on Geo damage or anything like that. It's got a specific effect. It's called Unity, and for every character in the party who hails from Liwu, the character who equips this weapon gains 6% attack increase and 2% crit rate increase. So for every character, you times this. I'm pretty sure this is including the character that is equipped with it. So you're getting times this by 4. That's your total. So this is 24% extra attack, and then you're getting 8% extra crit, and it raises with each level that goes into for a maximum of 40% attack and 24% more crit. Why is this so good? Because this is actually easy to get damage increases on, right? You don't necessarily have to get a high refinement to see how strong this weapon could be, because let's be honest, 24% attack increase off the rip is kind of huge. This is matching the Wolf Graving. The Wolf Graving gives you 20% at its first refinement. Now, the second effect of Wolf Graving is a little different. It gives you, I think, everyone 40% extra attack in the party. But this is a little more selfish. It gives you a crit rate increase. So, but you get 8% crit rate increase. So, because this has such a good balance of secondary type, this is like a damage dealer's dream. This is such a good weapon, especially for a main damage dealer. But we're gonna big brain a comp here because it is limited in the comp usage. You see here at level 7 you get 60.6% extra crit damage, which is huge, right? That means you don't have to invest in crit damage. In fact, you can invest in more crit rate. And this also increases your crit rate, especially if you have it capped. So you can raise your crit rate to a specific amount and then have this cap it off. Really good. Really, really, really strong. And I think people should be looking towards building this weapon over a lot of the 5-stars. Namely because it's just, within time, you're going to get more characters from Liwu or Mondstadt for one song, which is the next one we're going to talk about later. And then so on and so forth. Like, you can definitely find some really, really strong team comps to throw this weapon, bring out this weapon's full potential. So for the characters coming out, the ones in Liwu, we have Beidou, we have Ningguang, we have Xiangling, we have Jinqiu, we have Chongyun, we have Kiki, Keqing, right? So Targlia is confirmed coming out, right? And he is of the Liwu descent, which is pretty cool, right? He's not unless he's specifically just a Fatui, and he doesn't count as a Liwu character. But for the most part, you have Keqing, you have Kiki, Chongyun, Shinshu, sorry, it's not Jinkyu, Shinshu, Xiangling, Chongyun, Beidou, and Ningguang, but also you have Xian, who's coming out in the 1.1 update. That means you have 3 now Claymore users that can use this. This allows a support type character like Jinian to use some offensive capabilities, but this also actually increases Beidou's potency if you mix her in certain team comps, right? You can go Kiki if the Tartaglia is actually a Liwu character. You can mix it with Tartaglia and Kiki for freezing, and then using Beidou for superconduct, increasing her damage. You can use Ningguang for your secondary damage dealer to create some combos. You can do this plus Beidou for some overload shenanigans, right? Also, in the meantime, also increasing her overall damage, her crit rate, and her crit damage altogether. So everything gets affected by these things, right? Everyone has to realize, like, your damage overall gets affected by all these stats. Except particular ones. I can't remember what it was. I think it was fire. Not sure. Get this ad out of my face. But then for each one, it gets stronger, right? So you get 6% attack, and then you max out at 10%, and then you get 6% crit rate, 40% attack, which is huge, and 24% crit rate, which is also huge. If you guys manage to refine this, because I'm pretty sure this is gacha. Yeah, this is from the gacha, and I'm pretty sure you max this out, it's going to be a deadly weapon to have, because you know you have crit damage as your secondary stat, you have base attack of 373. It's going to be absolutely insane. There's a good amount of characters that you can use, right? Beidou, namely, probably being the number one suspect, and then you have, you know, she's sus, and then you have Chongyun possibly. You know, he can do something. This might make him this might give him the ability to do way more damage, you know, in specific team comps. Maybe you can throw like one character from Mondstadt in, like Mona, to increase the potential, and then have other characters from Liwu in here and combine them together, because you can have Xiangling toss in melt damage with her spinning pole arm of death, and then you can have maybe, or you can use Xinqiu to start up the freeze mechanic. Then you have Kaching to cast superconduct. You also have Beidou to cast superconduct. It's all box dependent, right? That's the downside of these weapons. It's very box dependent. Like, you can't abuse this weapon unless you have particular characters. So big brain comp, I personally think it would be like Beidou as the one using the weapon. Then you would have Xiangling for superconduct. I mean, not superconduct, but overload. And you have Kiki for your healing, right? And then you have Mona as your second damage dealer to cast freeze whenever Kiki does that little crazy nonsense. And that team would make it kind of scary. You could also use Chongyun in Kiki's place, but I like the healing factor. You need healers at late game. You know, very good for, you know, tossing out random freezes and capitalizing on superconducts and so on and so forth. So the big brain comp is pretty good. I think this actually helps Beidou out a lot, considering that she can switch in, switch out, counter, and so on and so forth. I know she's wielding a specific weapon. This is the cash shop weapon that's currently available right now. This is definitely the cash shop Claymore, but pay no mind to that. She can definitely dish out damage with this weapon. I think this weapon actually helps her out quite a bit, because it gives her 3 important stats that she needs to boost her damage, and that means you can actually just worry about crit rate and elemental mastery with her to increase her reactions and help her counters out and stuff like that. So pretty good, I think, for a team comp. The second weapon, Wine and Song. Now this is an interesting weapon. This has 2 different sets of stats, but the interesting thing about it is it's abusable by someone that we all know. and she's terrifying to begin with. Yes, you guessed it. It's not the Ara. So, why is this terrifying? Well, she gets innately move speed, 3% move speed increase per character. That heals from Mondstadt. So you're looking around 3 times 4 is 12% move speed, right? Plus, if she has double wind in her party, that's more movement speed. And then you have 8% attack times that by 4. Yeah, exactly how much you need, right? You get 32%. Wait, did I do the math right? I think I did it right. Yeah, 32% attack increase. That's huge. For Klee, for a damage dealer, that's crazy. And she gets energy recharge, meaning she gets her skills back quickly, even faster than she normally does. This is a hands down amazing weapon for Klee. Right, and we have most of the stats. We have the things here. So if you guys are looking forward to pulling this weapon, this is how you upgrade it. This is how you upgrade to at least 70 to 80. Right. So keep all these in mind. Right. This is how you upgrade it. This is how you upgrade it to 90. This is how you upgrade it to 80. You know, so on and so forth. Right. For 41% extra energy charge. That means she's getting her super or her elemental skill super fast, right? And then if you get dupes, it becomes super big. 16%. That's huge. 16% attack is huge for Klee, right? 16% per character, 5% per character. That's 20% movement speed. So if there's one thing that people don't understand, Klee is a little bit on the difficult side to play, right? And because of that, she requires spacing. What helps with spacing? Movement. What helps with movement? Movement speed. Being able to move around the battlefield super quick with Klee is going to help you space out opponents incredibly quick. Now I know someone's going to be tempted by like, hey, Goki, just give her a 5-star weapon and she will go burr. But she also goes burr with this broken tome. This tome is actually legitimately stupidly good. And I think if it's a battle pass weapon between Lijiang Blade and this, and you're a Klee main, you go with this. If you're like a Claymore main for Liwu, you go with Lijiang Blade. For the most part, I'm probably going to pick this because besides Klee, you have more options. You have Mona, you have Sucrose, you have the Ara, you have Lisa, right? You have 4 options already in the game without any new characters coming out so far. Right, because Diona is an archer, right? But for the most part, you have, you know, you have like one of the better units in the game, Mona, who's a tome user. You know, she's a catalyst user. You know, you got Sucrose, absolutely insane when she's built properly. You know, you have Klee, who's just out of the box. You know, I don't want to say plum dumb the R word, but she's plum dumb R word. She just does things. You know, and she wins. She throws balls, and people die. You know, like it's crazy, right? And then obviously, you know, Lisa, she takes a lot of investment to be good, but with this tome, she also becomes very strong. Like this tome is by and large better than the Lijiang Blade, and it's because of the characters that can use it, really, right? And how many characters can use it? Because as of now, the Lijiang Blade is suffering mainly because the other option is Chongyun right now, and then Beidou, and then Zhenyan when she comes out. Like, it has less options. And honestly, Lijiang Blade, even if they swapped positions, it would still be really hard. I mean, Wine and Song would be with Ning Wang. It's really because these characters suffer from not having a lot of good like a lot of diversity. If Liwu Harbor had a larger amount of diversity, it would be really good. So yeah, and I'm unsure about what else we're going to be getting. Right, I'll take a look at this stuff later, but I just want to talk about this for a little bit, because these weapons seem really strong, and if these come in the battle pass, this is a weapon to look forward to, because even though it looks like a low stated weapon, it's actually a high stated weapon. 32% attack and 12% movement speed on 1 refinement for a Mondstadt team is kind of huge. It's kind of like ridiculously strong, and not to mention that you know, you can pair Sucrose with Venti to get that extra stamina bump, the movement speed, so on and so forth. So like in Abyss, you're moving around, you're casting your AoE, you're going nuts, you're doing damage, so on and so forth. So like this weapon, these two weapons are definitely to be considered for specific team comps. Obviously, if you have Wolf Gravestone, there's no need to hunt the Lithic Blade. It's just a good alternative for if you don't have it. But that's all I have for today. I mean, it really is crazy how strong these weapons are, like overall, like how powerful they are. I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys want more news, build guides, build videos, so on and so forth. Thank you for joining from my big brain thoughts on these weapons. They're interesting. I think at least one of them is going to be like a meta style weapon. Obviously you shouldn't follow meta, just play with your favorites. But yeah, once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.